Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Scott, and today we're painting the new City-States Chariot model from Conquest: The Last Argument of Kings. This is an awesome model and it was tons of fun to paint, so let's go ahead and dive into this tutorial. To get this model ready for painting, I've primed it using Ultramatte Black Paint Plus Primer from Rust-Oleum. I've also kept this particular kit in sub-assemblies so that it'll be easier to get to all the details. Our first step in this project is to base coat the body of the Chariot using Mechanicus Standard Grey. Once we're happy with that base coat, we're going to take Nuln Oil and do a heavy wash over the body of the Chariot. After we've allowed that shade paint to dry completely, we're going to take Dawnstone and do a technique called stippling, where we're going to dab the brush randomly across the surface of the model, and we're building the color up over multiple coats. Once we're happy with the first layer of stippling, we're going to take Administratum Grey and do another layer of stippling, but we're not going quite as heavy as we did with the previous color. Next, we're going to take Corax White and do another layer of stippling. This time we're using a smaller brush, and once again we're not going as heavy as we did with the previous two coats. Our final step for the marble on the model is to take Abaddon Black. We're going to dilute this down till it has a consistency just slightly thicker than a wash. We're going to take a fine detail brush and very carefully manually paint the veins going across the face of the marble. Now it's time to start working on our lions. We're going to take Zandri Dust and use this as the base color for their skin or fur. For the mane on the lions, we're going to use Jokaero Orange as our base color. Now that we have both of those base colors in place, we're going to take Seraphim Sepia and do a heavy wash of this over both the tan and orange on the lions. Once we've allowed that shade paint to dry, we're going to take Troll Slayer Orange and dry brush this lightly over the mane on the lions. Moving back to the skin on the lions, we're going to take Baneblade Brown and we're going to layer this over the wrinkles and curves of the muscle, and we're doing lines going across the muscle to begin establishing the texture of fur or hair on the surface of the skin. Now we're going to do another layer of highlighting on the muscles and skin of the model. We're going to take Karak Stone and we're going to do stripes going across the muscles again, this time with wider gaps between them and a little bit more randomness to the direction. With the lions all finished up, it's now time to work on the Chariot. We're going to take Dryad Bark and use this as the base color for any wood surfaces on the model. Once we're happy with that base color, we're going to take Agrax Earthshade and do a heavy wash of this over the wood. Once that shade is dried, we're going to take Zandri Dust and dry brush this lightly over the wood. Now we're going to move on to the skin of the rider in the back of the Chariot. We're going to begin by base coating all of his skin using Cadian Fleshtone. Next, we're going to take Reikland Fleshshade and lightly wash this over the skin. And we're going light with this because we don't want to completely change the color tone of the skin so that blending looks a little bit better in the next step. After that shade paint is dried completely, we're going to take Kislev Flesh and begin layering this over the muscles and curves on the skin. Now it's time to begin working on all the fabric parts of the model. We're going to take Sotek Green and use this as the base coat for all the fabric, both on the lions and on the rider. Next, we're going to shade the blue fabric using contrast Talassar blue. We're going to dilute this down a little bit, either with water or contrast medium. After that contrast paint is dried completely, we're going to take Temple Guard blue and layer this back over the wrinkles and curves of the fabric. Now we're going to do a bit of edge highlighting using Baharroth Blue, and we're focusing on only catching the sharpest ridges and edges on the fabric. With the fabric all done, we're now going to begin working on the metallic parts of the model. We're going to take Leadbelcher and use this as the base color for the armor on the lions, as well as any structural metal parts on the chariot. Next, we're going to take copper from Pearl Acryl, and we're going to use this as the base color for any trim or ornamental details on the model. We're also going to take leather brown from Vallejo and use this as the base color for any leather straps or other bits on the model. With those three base colors in place, we're now going to take Nuln Oil and use this to wash the iron armor and the leather straps on the model. While that shade is drying, we're going to take Agrax Earthshade and apply this to the bronze parts on the model. Moving back to our iron armor, we're now going to take Ironbreaker and layer this over the flat surfaces on the armor, but we're not putting this anywhere that the shade pooled up or deposited on the model. Our final step in this project is to take a mixture of 1 part copper from Pearl Acryl and 1 part Gehenna's Gold and layer this over the bronze surfaces on the model, the same way we did with the Ironbreaker in the previous step. And with that, we've finished painting our city-states chariot. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I really hope that you've enjoyed it. I know I had a lot of fun painting this one. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you like it, and then subscribe to my channel so you can see future videos I make. I'd like to give a special shout out to my channel members that make videos like this possible. If you would like to become a channel member, hit the join button below. You'll gain access to a members-only chat on our Discord, as well as early access to some of our videos. As always, have an amazing day, and we'll catch you in the next one.